Welcome to Shawn and Sue's podcast on 92.7 WOBM.
The Ocean County Breakfast Show with Shawn Michaels and Sue Moore.
Ocean County's best variety. 92.7 WOBM.
92.7 WOBM with Miss Independent Kelly Clarkson on a brand new Thursday morning. It is February 22nd. Shawn and Sue with you. Something that's trending today is, of course, school safety, gun violence. It is the headline story pretty much for the last several days and continues to be a big topic as we talk more and more about safety in our schools. So the list came out of the top 200 safest schools in New Jersey, but we thought,
Perfect timing for this.
Yeah, let's go through and get cut right to the chase here. Ocean and Monmouth counties, and we put together the top 10 list. And, number one, as I said, for Ocean County, Point Pleasant Beach School District. Number one for Monmouth was the Middletown Township School District. Now, as far as Toms River schools, they finished at 6th on that list. So top 10 Toms River regional schools finished at number 6. So you've got some other school districts in that top 10, Matawan, Aberdeen, Wall, Upper Freehold, Point Pleasant Borough is in that list, as well as Jackson. So these are some of the school districts that made the top 10 there. And see if your school made it.
When you click on that story, too, Shawn, at WOBM.com, it tells you exactly how they got
how they come up with
those
things.
scores. So it's excellent. And I do have to say, very proud of that generation yesterday. If you heard any of the Florida students that made it through the massacre, they were amazing yesterday. Very proud of that generation, and they're going to get it done.
You can go on our survey. Yeah, it's going to be. It's going to be interesting. I mean, there's
amazing day yesterday.
A lot of talk going into gun violence and gun safety, and different things. A little bit later, we're going to talk about Congressman Tom MacArthur, who wants to push for harder background checks, and it should be. I mean, if
absolutely.
I mean, you spend. I think you can get in and out of place buying a gun quicker than you can a car. So, I mean, there's something to be said about that. I think we need to look at what's going on there and, see what the deal is. But anyway, we're going to be talking about that this morning. You can also take part in our survey. We have a poll up, and we want to know, do you feel that your kids' schools are safe? Like, as parents, do you feel that they are safe? Right now, 52% say no, 48% say yes, so kind of almost split right down the middle on that.
Close margin there.
Yeah. So go check out the story and the list at WOBM.com.
The Ocean County Breakfast Show. 92.7 WOBM.
92.7 WOBM with Katy Perry on a brand new Monday morning. It is February 26th. Shawn and Sue with you. And watching the news, you saw that, families were going back over the weekend to the high school in Parkland, Florida, where the shooting occurred a couple of weeks ago.
Yes.
And starting to get back to some sort of normalcy there for the kids, although the building, one of the buildings there where a lot of the incident happened will not be used again. But, you saw the parents going back.
How can they go back in there, right?
Yeah, it just brings you right back to the whole issue of school safety, seeing, the families down there in Parkland. So we asked over the weekend question, do you feel your kids are safe when heading off to school? Right now, 55% say no. 36% of our listeners say yes. 9% are undecided. Did a story about incidents involving weapons at schools. The Department of Education put out a list of, the schools and which schools had the most cases involving, weapons. And when they say weapons, it could be anything that brings bodily injury to somebody. So it could be pepper spray, could be an air gun, could be a knife, something like that. Doesn't necessarily have to be handguns to be considered a weapon. Now, the top 5 schools here in Ocean Monmouth counties, number 1 was Neptune High School. Neptune Middle School was number 2. Lakewood High School was number 3. Asbury Park High School was number 4. And Barack Obama Elementary in Asbury Park was number 5. And the thing about that, boy, elementary school, and that is one of the top 5 schools with weapons, an elementary school,
That is so scary. I will tell you this as a parent of a child in the elementary school system or in the school system, there is not a moment that goes by, and I'm sure parents can relate to thinking that, oh my goodness, I hope our children are safe. There is not a moment. Like right now, I'm thinking about it, And I'm hoping and praying that she is safe.
Yeah. You know, there was another
Scary
thing that we
thing.
talked about last week, too, and you're seeing that over the weekend is the still the issue of teachers carrying handguns to school. And 51% of our listeners, we had a lot of votes on this, 51% say no, teachers should not be armed. 46% said yes, 3% undecided. So very close voting there between yes and no to the issue of teachers with handguns. So you can go check out the story at WOBM.com, and I'm sure it's going to be something we're going to debate for a long time, you know, down the road, to trying to figure out what's the best combination of safety to keep our kids best, you know, at school. So check out the story. It's at WOBM.com. We come back, we'll check weather and traffic next with Shawn and Sue. 92.7 WOBM. Good morning, Shawn Sue with you with Kings of Leon on a brand new Friday morning. 38 degrees at 7:41. And we're talking about a story you probably saw a lot on the news around dinner time last night. They were talking about the idea of teachers carrying guns at school, which is just, you know, you think about it and, you know, is this a viable answer? Now, this morning when I was writing this story up, I was watching the news this morning when I was getting up. And an ABC News report, they had a law enforcement official, who said that right off the bat, he felt it posed two immediate problems for him. One is, how would law enforcement officials identify someone with a weapon as a teacher and not a threat if there is an incident? In other words, okay, something happens at a school. There's a shooting, or there's a person with a gun, something like that. They end up getting to the school. How do they know what teachers are teachers and who are civilians who could be part of the problem? He said that could be a problem because they're not going to walk around wearing vests like police do with big letters that say police, law enforcement, FBI, whatever it is on it. So that was one thing. Second thing he said was, what about teachers storing their weapons safely? He said, this is enough of a challenge for police officers to make sure that their weapons are cared for, stored properly, and under secure conditions. How would teachers do that? I mean, where are they supposed to put these guns? Where would they carry them? So forth. So those were two things he said right off the bat raised a red flag for him as far as teachers having guns. And what they were saying is that, if teachers were armed, it could deter someone who entered a building to cause harm to students, okay? We did a survey this morning, and a lot of folks, have been voting. And right now, 52% say yes, they support the idea of teachers having handguns at school. 43% say no, and 5% are undecided. So that's right now, yes is it's almost 50-50, but yes is getting more of the response as far as, the voting.
All right. Personally speaking, with a school-age child, I would say absolutely not. That's a lot of responsibility for the teachers. That's a lot of responsibility for the students. I just don't know how that could help. I maybe more security at the schools if that helps.
Metal detectors, things like that.
Yeah.
These are all questions that people are bringing up.
Can you even imagine at elementary schools having metal detectors, though?
If you want to go check out the story, also linked up a New York Times story that came out yesterday, all about, the idea of, guns in the schools, with the teachers to help as a self-defense mechanism. And you can check that out and see that story. And also you can take part in our survey if you'd like to do that as well. But this is an interesting topic. And, I don't see that happening in the future because I just think it could lead to chaos. Here you have a gunman. All of a sudden you've got teachers running around with guns. You got police officers coming into the scene with guns. It just seems like just too much. But, I think
it would be too much.
It's just an issue that, everybody's trying to figure out what can we do. These are one of the things, this was just one idea that was out there. If you want to see the story, it's at WOBM.com. It's on our social media as well. We take, we thank people for taking time this morning while they're having their coffee and heading out the door to take part in our survey. And but right now, yes is the majority response, with 52% saying that they would support the idea of teachers being armed in the schools as a self-defense measure against future problems. So check out the story. Obviously, this whole issue of school safety is going to continue to be an issue for us in the news and, of course, for parents out there. So it's all at WOBM.com.
The Ocean County Breakfast Show with Shawn Michaels and Sue Moll.
Ocean County's best variety, 92.7 WOBM.
92.7 WOBM. Good morning, Carrie Underwood. On this Tuesday, February 20th, it was a long weekend, so we decided to go on a little adventure, little day tripping yesterday.
Yeah, tell us about it.
We went to go underground. It's always been like a bucket list thing to go underground.
Like, how do you just get underground? I don't understand.
You just burrow down through and dig.
Okay, you dig down. No. Tell us where you went.
Actually, we went up north, okay, and this was not too bad of a ride, and it was to a place called the Sterling Hills Mine. And we went on a tour of the mines, which basically look like caves underneath.
Is this still in Jersey?
Yeah, this is in Jersey, up in Sussex County.
Okay.
And it's about a 2-hour ride from here. And it was amazing. It was absolutely fantastic, and it was really cool. And you go down into the ground. They began mining this back in 1640. And the mine went through several different changes and evolutions. It was primarily a zinc mine because zinc was in such demand.
Yeah, sure.
And, over the years, they've collected so many different artifacts. They have a museum there. They also have a mineral, collection there as well. A lot of people are into rocks, and you go there. They have the fluorescent minerals. When you go underground, they turn the lights off, and they put on the, the UV lighting. And you see how they all glow, the different glows of the minerals. It's pretty cool.
So neat.
Very cool, very cool.
It's like a crystal caves almost, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We did see some stalagmites.
Oh, I love that.
But they said it takes like 100 years for a stalagmite to grow like an inch.
It's amazing.
So when you see those big ones in caverns and other parts of the country, they are thousands of years old.
That's amazing.
We saw a fault line that came about probably back in the dinosaur era that was underground, where an earthquake happened there in New Jersey. They also showed us where there were, remnants of dinosaurs found up there. But it was really cool. And we even learned the legend of the can. You've heard the expression, Sue. Got to take a break.
Got to go to the can?
Got to go to the can.
Meaning the toilet? Yes.
It's a miner's term. And we saw the cans.
Oh, jeez.
Which
so
dated
they got
back
the
to the early 1900s. Yes.
Like that term.
That was where it came from. But anyway, let's put it this way. When you didn't do your work well or were you messed up, punishment was taking care of the cans.
Oh, my word.
So there you go. So, but it was very interesting stuff. You go way down. You see all the water that's underneath. There's lakes in there. Because
now, are there other people down there with you?
Yeah, you go on.
Is it like a tour?
It's a tour, yeah. Our tour.
You don't just go alone.
No. Our tour, we had about, I think, like 30 people, and there was like 4 tours going at one time.
All right, so what is the website if someone wants to do this?
Yeah,
do you know where to go?
Yeah, SterlingHillMiningMuseum.org.
Okay,
I'll have all the information up on our website and video from my exploration underground as well. But it was pretty cool. My wife and I had a great time, and then we went over to the town of Sparta for a little lunch after that, and so it was a good day. So it was us on the move, but underground, another bucket list item.
Yes,
to go
Shawn.
mining.
That's cool.
Underground, and it was pretty neat. Zoolander, the movie with Ben Stiller.
Yeah.
They filmed the mining scene that he did in that movie there at this mine.
That's cool.
And there was a set that they built within the mine for it. And they took big styrofoam pieces and painted them black. This is not a coal mine, but in the movie it was a coal mine. And they painted big pieces of styrofoam. They still have them there. They're all like piled up, like where Zoolander was lifting himself.
But you said originally this was a zinc mine, correct?
It was a zinc mine
Cool.
originally. But there's a lot of history there and all kinds of artifacts. And just amazing to see like the helmets that the guys who wore back in the late 1800s. They had no electric. They put candles on their forehead, like on the helmet. Think about it. A candle.
Yeah, that wax melting onto their forehead.
Out of their forehead, yes.
That would not be good.
Or blowing out and then being in the pitch black. But that was their light, was a candle, and it had a little candle holder on the front of the helmets, and they still have these helmets.
More respect for them now, you think?
Oh.
After being down there?
Kids were used, too, down there, too.
Oh, my word.
So kids, be glad it's not now because, you'd have to work in the mine, You know, they would take 8-year-olds and put them down in the mine.
That's crazy.
And if their dad couldn't go to work, they'd yank them out of school and send the kids down in the mine. So Abby would be down in the mine soon today
stop
for
that.
you if you didn't have to go to work.
wouldn't want
So anyway, crazy.
Shawn.
Rough life for mining.
Yeah.
Have all the information up at WOBM.com.
Wake up with Shawn and Sue. Ocean County's best variety. 92.7 WOBM.
92.7 WOBM. Good morning, Shawn and Sue with you on this Monday. It is February 26th. Right now we've got 6:39, 44 degrees. So over the weekend I'm out. Saturday mornings you'll catch me a lot of times out doing some photos and driving around just trying to, have coffee, see what's, happening and whatever.
Right.
And I'm out and I spot something as I'm driving down Seven Bridges Road. I thought it was basically maybe leaves or like a patch of like bay grass. Like sort of stuck on a stick.
Mm-hmm. We see that a lot while driving along the water.
And I said,
lagoons.
Boy, it kind of looked like something, but I don't know. I drove past, then I decided, you know what? Let me just turn around and go back and look. It'll only take me a second. So I turn around, I get out, I get the camera out, and I've got the big lens on there. Zoom in on it, and it turns out it's a huge owl. And I don't know why out in the bay there's a great horned owl out there.
Nest? You think there's a nest around?
I don't know, but usually they're more in wooded areas, although the woods aren't that far away. But he was sort of out there in a swampy bay marsh, which was just surprising. A lot of people that wrote in this weekend when they saw my pictures were like, I'm surprised he was out there in the day, out in that
Think he's okay?
section.
That's why there's either a nest or he's sick.
Yeah, no, he seemed all right. He flew and everything. So, but I got some really cool pictures. If you want to check it out, if you've never seen one. Now, I've got 2 owls. I hadn't spotted any owls. Now I have 2 this winter. We had the snowy owl, remember, the snowy owls over at Island Beach State Park. Got those, and now this great horned owl, which is a brownish owl, and he was out there, and I would say he's about 2 feet tall. His wingspan, they say, can get up to about 5 feet wide.
Wow.
It's pretty amazing, isn't it?
That is amazing.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild when you see them fly. Very big raptors, very big talons. Their feet, huge on them, so... But, it was a very surprising thing. So if you want to check it out and see this big bird, this big, wise old hoot owl, they call him a tiger owl or a hoot owl. Those are the nicknames that they have for him.
A hoot owl.
Yeah. So check out the story.
Very cool, though, Shawn.
And the pictures and video. It's at WOBM.com. And maybe if you've seen one, shoot me a note. It's all at WOBM.com.
Cool.
The Ocean County Breakfast Show with Shawn Michaels and Sue Moll.
Ocean County's best variety, 92.7 WOBM.
92.7 WOBM Morning Coffee Contest.
Phone lines are open. Shawn and Sue with you playing the Morning Coffee Contest. Everybody loves to play and win. 732-237. WOBM is the number to call. That's 237-9626.
All right, let's do it. It is, oh my goodness, Chicago with REO Speedwagon, PNC Vanguard Center on a warm summer's night. They're coming. Oh, it's 80s, right?
Shawn and Sue's 80s explosion. Yes. And today we're turning to the video games. A little Pac-Man fever, Sue.
Oh, I love it.
So here's your question for today. Shawn and Sue's 80s explosion. What was the second fruit on the original Pac-Man? Was it cherry? Ooh. Was it strawberry? Was it orange or banana? What was the second fruit you had to get?
This is Pac-Man. I play Ms. Pac-Man all the time. I wonder if it's the same.
Original Pac-Man.
Okay.
Cherry, strawberry, orange, or banana? Give us a call if you've got Pac-Man fever, Sue.
732-237 WOBM.
Shawn and Sue.
On the Ocean County Breakfast Show.
92.7 WOBM.
WOBM, good morning. Shawn and Sue with you. Who do we have with us?
Good morning, Shawn. This is Jackie.
Hi,
Hi,
Jackie.
Jackie.
What town are you from?
I am from Barnegat.
All right, we are playing the Morning Coffee Contest. Thanks for joining us in Southern Ocean County this morning. Our question goes back to the 80s, our 80s explosion, but we're going to the video games this time around. What was the second fruit on the original Pac-Man?
I think it was the strawberry.
Is that your final answer?
That is my final answer.
Jackie, you're going to see Chicago and REO Speedwagon.
Thank you.
There you
Thank
go.
so
Good
much.
job. Were you a big video Pac-Man girl back in the day?
I have to say, yes, I was.
Okay. All right.
It was probably my favorite one, that and Centipede.
By the way, cherry, then strawberry, then orange, then apple, then melon. Those were the fruits in
I don't
order.
think I ever got to the melon.
Yeah, I wasn't a very good Pac-Man. I liked Centipede, too. That was one of the games that I played. But
Fun. It was fun, yeah.
yeah, it was fun. It was fun. I always tell the kids, we used to have to travel to find a place to play video games, and then we had to bring, like, coins with us to get a game in. And
Right.
it's very perplexing to them as to what that's all about. But
They never get that, I know. Now they sit home and just play on their Xbox.
that's how they do it. It's a totally different scenario. Well,
I'll tell you,
congratulations.
I'm addicted to Ms. Pac-Man.
Ms.
I love
Pac-Man?
it. It's the plug-in. You
Yeah.
plug them into your TV and play them. I love
have
it.
that. I have that, yeah.
Yeah, the little boxes with the little
Yes.
joystick. Yeah.
They come preloaded with like 30 games on it or
It's
something.
perfect.
Jackie, you are a Miss
Yes.
Pac-Man kind of gal. Hey, listen, you're going to go see a great concert. It is Chicago with REO Speedwagon at the PNC Bank Arts Center on July 29th. Tickets are on sale now at Ticketmaster.com. Enjoy the show and congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, hold on the line. More chances to win coming up with WOBM.
You're really guilty. There is a soda machine down there, Nance, and it's $1.50. It wasn't taking my nickels. I only had nickels and dimes. So I had to go into this jar for children that we're collecting money for, and I took the quarters out and put the nickels in, but I felt guilty.
But why would you feel guilty?
Well, everything is
Did
the
you-
same thing.
But I just felt guilty for even opening that, because usually you just throw the money in.
Did you not have the right change?
I had the exact change.
Oh, okay. Well, then don't feel
there
guilty.
was no problem.
You didn't
but
steal.
I never even opened it. No, I didn't
All right.
steal. But I never opened this before, and I felt so bad. Like, oh my goodness, what am
No,
I
you're
doing?
okay.
I'm all right.
Yeah, don't have a guilty conscience.
Yeah,
You're
but
fine.
it wasn't taking my nickels, so I had to exchange the nickels for the quarters that were in the
Hey,
bucket.
those nickels weren't wooden, were they, Sue?
I do not burp. Maybe I should go over your shoulder, Shawn, and you could burp me. That would be a sight.
Well, if you needed to, you would.
I
I'm
guess
not burping her. What do you
I
mean?
guess
I
I-
would?
No, I'm just
not
saying-
burping her. She's my baby.
she didn't say that,
That's
Shawn.
horrible.
I'm saying if your body needed to,
I'm not
it
burping her.
would. No.
Listen to him. I'm not burping her. Listen.
Well, good, because I don't want to see that.
Yeah, I
That's
don't
like
wanna
so
do it
like, oh, you
either.
just ruined my breakfast. Really?
Why did this come? Don't even answer that.
I don't know
No,
why
I
it
don't-
came up.
No,
Why
because
did
she
it?
said I hate. I thought she said burp, but she said burst. And then she just went into this whole thing about how she, gas only goes in one direction for her. It
I
doesn't
did
come-
not.
it
I
doesn't-
never.
You said it does not. You do not feel the
Hold
gas coming back
on.
up.
I never
Well, you
said
said it
that.
doesn't
I am
come
a
back up.
lady.
You said it does.
I do
the
not
gas
talk
is-
about that.
You said it does not come back up. That's exactly
Nancy
what you said.
Remy, can you please
No.
help me?
I'm not burping her. That's all I know. Nancy, you can burp her.
Oh my gosh!
All right, get to the
Where
weather,
did the
Sue.
show go?
You ruined everything today.
Lots of rain the next couple of days. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Highs only into the mid-40s. So enjoy today. The beautiful sunshine. 74, 75. That should be our high. A good bike riding day, right, Nance?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
This image in my head.
Please,
This-
I'm
Of
no,
me
no.
sitting on your lap
No,
and
this-
you
I'm
burping
trying.
me.
I'm
This
trying to get
summer-
rid of the image.
This summer, when Nancy comes down to visit us at the beach house, and she's out there,
I'll sit on Nancy's
holding
lap.
you, yeah,
Can you
come on,
burp me?
come on.
Just
Oh.
Nancy holding me would be funny.
At which part
Come
I
on.
just go walk into the ocean. So, all right, here's Nancy Remy. I apologize, folks.
Oh my! Now you're the one that did it. I didn't do it. You did it. So you're apologizing for yourself, right?
No,
Not for me.
No, what did I do? What? Because I won't burp you?
Oh, for
Here's Nancy with the Ocean County
Thought we were
traffic
done.
watch.
All right, so here's our deal for travel over on the Parkway.
So Shawn,
Today
is Hootie Hoo Day.
Hootie Hoo Day.
Yes.
Hootie Hoo?
It is a Hootie Hoo Day.
Hootie Hoo.
It's a day celebrated every year on this date, February 20th.
Mm-hmm.
It's a day designed to help people overcome the wintertime blues and prepare them for
So,
the coming of spring.
Today is Hootie Hoo Day.
It's Hootie Hoo Day, and what a great day to celebrate it.
And
get out and enjoy.
Get out and enjoy, and the weather's going to cooperate today because we've got some sunshine and temperatures should be near 70 today.
Yes,
so
those wintertime blues can
Boy,
really keep you
talk
in.
about a Hootie Hoo Day.
Yes! We'll take it.
Could it be the best day of your life, Sue?
Woo! I'm hoping.
Here's the American authors. Folks, we'll see you back here tomorrow for Wednesday.
A great one.
Hootie Hoo! 92.7 WOBM on a brand new Friday morning. Shawn and Sue in with you. It's 9:19, 57 degrees. So I thought at this point in the program, this has been a rough week when talking about high schools with the incident in Florida this weekend and the horrific situation down there. We thought we would sort of spin it a little differently here because we got some really cool stories that came in late this week to us here about local high school students. So we wanted to share them with you. Now, I always say, and I mentioned in the blog, I love when listeners reach out to us and give us stories.
Right.
And tell us about things that are happening, because how would we know everything that's going on? So it's great. So if you ever have this information, email us.
Please
and
let us know.
send us away. So I got some information this week from some parents, and it was all about their kids that are involved in the STEM program. Now, if you don't know what STEM is, STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. The STEM program at Point Pleasant Borough High School, they were involved in what's called the Congressional App Challenge. And they were winners of the Congressional App Challenge.
Oh, that's awesome. Tell us a little bit about this.
Now, the winning app is called Lunch Buddy. And what it does is the kids put it together. Teresa Cardone, Jaspreet Kaur, Luke Boylan, and Adrian Whitman.
Yes.
They put this together.
Cool.
It's called Lunch Buddy. And what it does is it pairs up. What you do is you go on the app, and you can find out who has the same lunch break with you at school.
Okay.
And this is for special needs classmates. And you pair up with them to make new friendships and to share lunch together. It's called Lunch Buddy. Isn't that a great idea?
I love this. What school is this?
This is Point Pleasant Borough High School.
Oh, my goodness, incredible.
Yeah, and there was a
Great
few
job,
other
guys.
apps that they were working on that included local traffic notifications, assisting state troopers, and recruiting high school athletes for community colleges. And Congressman Chris Smith, who serves Ocean and Monmouth counties, went there for a visit and to check them out. And we even have, for other schools, if you're listening, that want to get involved in the Congressional App Challenge, we have the information for you to go to for next year's, for this year's, if you want to get your school involved. Now, speaking of science, there's another great story that came to us this week out of our friends there at Donovan Catholic.
Emily Osterman of Donovan Catholic is one of 3 students in the world.
Now, you're talking about planet Earth, or are you talking about other planets?
Other planets in the world to achieve a perfect...
Just Earth. Yes, go ahead.
See, I wouldn't have won this, all right? Thanks.
Oh, neither would I. This is a tough thing. Tell us what she did.
Yeah, she loves chemistry. In 2017, she is a senior, by the way.
Tough course.
Yeah, she is a senior, by the way. She took this last year, and it was all about chemistry. She took the AP Advanced Placement Chemistry exam, and I
heard about those in high school. I
didn't take any.
I heard about those.
But we're going to have her on the show hopefully next week, and we're going to talk to Emily. We're going to have a little fun with Emily and maybe do our own little...
You and I are going to challenge her to a chemistry test.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, good
That'll
luck.
Be fun.
Yeah, good luck with that.
We could build a volcano. Isn't that part of chemistry?
We could with the baking soda. I know.
She says she loves molecules and everything about the atom as well. So good for her.
Now,
Emily Osterman, Donovan Catholic, congratulations.
She took the AP chemistry test.
Yes.
And got 100% on it, right? I mean, there wasn't a blemish on that test.
Perfect score. One of 3 students.
In the world.
In the world.
Wow. So, see, this is what I mean. These kids, these stories that we're talking about, great stuff.
Amazing.
We're going to try to get her in here next week.
Emily, we're so proud of you. Congratulations.
It's going to be a lot of fun, and we'll do some chemistry with her.
Wow, that's amazing.
Or at least she'll talk about it, and you and I will just shake our heads.
92.7 WOBM. Ocean County's best variety plays here. 92.7 WOBM.
What about us? What about us?
92.7 WOBM. Good morning, Shawn and Sue with you on a brand new Thursday morning. Here we are at 7:47 right now, 52 degrees. That's Fahrenheit, by the way, Sue, and I'm being particular about that.
Yeah, definitely.
Because joining us right now, we have Dr. Mike Lacey and also Emily Osterman from Donovan Catholic, and they are chemistry people, Sue, so we got to be on our toes here and do a good job. Mike, thanks for coming down today.
Thank you very much for having
Thanks for being with us. And also, Emily, thanks for coming down today.
Oh, I'm really happy to be here.
Emily, we are celebrating you today. It's the day of Emily.
Okay.
Emily Osterman. Now, Shawn, explain the story. What makes Emily so amazing?
We'll have Mike help us too here because this was the AP, the Advanced Placement.
The Advanced Placement Chemistry exam. Yes.
Okay.
Last
Now, we
May.
heard about those. We heard about those when we were in school. I think they did something with those things. I think the kids came in on the weekend or something that took these tests. I don't know what it was, but we never did.
Oh, for goodness sake.
But anyway,
Heard about them, yes.
Advanced Placement. This is for college, correct?
Correct.
All right. How does that work now? Advanced Placement means what?
Basically, it is a full-year course that is meant to coincide with a freshman general chemistry class in college. The full-year class.
Yeah.
And if the student does well in the class, usually a 4 or 5 on the exam, they can get credit from the institution that they're going to, so they would not have to take those classes, general chemistry 1 and or general chemistry 2 in college.
Yeah. Now, I figured I would try to impress them today, Sue, and throw out some terms like Bunsen burner, beaker,
I've used those.
test tubes. See?
Yeah.
See, Sue? I know what I'm talking about. Hey, I've got a joke for you here, Emily, and we'll see if this comes across to you and your teacher here. Why did the chemist coat his shoes with silicone rubber?
I didn't know I would be tested.
He wanted to reduce his carbon footprint. Thank you very much.
So, Emily, you are a senior now at Donovan Catholic.
See, they got
Yes,
it.
I am.
They got it.
You took this test when you were a junior, which was in May or June of last year, correct? May.
Yeah.
And how awesome is this? When did you find out that you and 3 other people or 2 other people, correct?
Yeah, I'm one of 3, so 2 other people.
One of 3
In the
To
world.
ace- I mean, that's the world. Not even just the United States. The world.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is amazing. I hope you got to get ice cream with your parents or something. How did you celebrate? That's just you're unbelievable. How'd you do it?
It took a lot of studying and like being active in class, communicating with other people, and the month before the exam, I worked through 2 practice books, so that took a lot of time, but it was definitely really good preparation for
So
the
there
exam.
was some prep for it.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
How long is the test itself? Like, what? Are we talking like an hour? Are we talking a half an hour? Are we talking
It's
5 hours? How long is the
like-
test?
About 3 hours.
3
Yeah.
hours. 3 hours.
Holy.
Yeah, it's multiple choice and then free response. So it's like you can do the multiple choice and then you think it should be done, but then you have free response on top of that.
Mike, have you ever had anyone get a complete 100% in any advanced placement tests?
No.
No. Okay, so this is a first.
So
This
Emily
is
the
a first, yes.
Who found out first? Did you find out first or did Emily?
I did. I got a letter in the mail.
And you thought it was a mistake? Or no?
I was definitely surprised. I looked at it. I was like, what? I need to read this again.
Mike, what did you think when you saw the letter and you saw 100%? Were you like, wait a minute now?
Yeah, the same thing. When I saw the letter, I read it, and I'm like, wait a minute. And you read it a couple more times before it even starts to begin to sink in that, like, this is really a special case.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now, Emily, I'm not taking anything away. I wasn't doubting you, but let's just face it, 100% in this test is not easy to do. So you would have to, think maybe for a second, ooh, I wonder if they got that right. But then you're like, oh, man, when you find out, that's just blows your mind, right?
Yeah, and there was this one question on the test where you had to create an experiment for something.
Yeah.
In the free response, you have to write down how you would do the experiment and make up your own procedure.
Did you
And
did you use a Bunsen burner?
I did not.
With the Bunsen burner.
But I was really nervous about that question.
So
but
what
I
did
guess
you do? Like, are you able to tell us? Like, what kind of thing did you do on the test? Do you remember? What experiment you wrote about?
Yeah, it was like working with kinematics. So that's like rate of reaction and how you would do a question to figure out something with rate of reaction.
Don't even explain it. We have no idea what you're talking about. So
No idea.
Okay.
But it worked well for you, though. It worked well for you.
It worked. That's all.
It worked. It worked. Hey, I got another joke for you, Emily.
Oh, okay.
All right.
Sorry.
I heard oxygen and magnesium were going out, and I was like, OMG. Get it?
I get it.
You
I
get
get
it.
it,
The periodic
yeah.
table. See, these are periodic table jokes. So,
Yeah. I have one too. Did you see
have,
this one?
You have a chemistry joke.
Do I know any jokes about sodium?
There's the periodic table
The
again.
periodic table is an endless source of entertainment. We all have to admit that.
At least for radio, it is so entertaining.
We are talking with Dr. Mike Lacey and also Emily Osterman. They're both from Donovan Catholic. Emily,
Yay, Donovan Catholic,
Yeah.
by the way. How cool.
what grade are you in now?
I'm a senior.
You're a senior. Okay, so are you thinking about any colleges in particular? Is there a list, or have you already determined? Is this a secret? What's the deal with college?
I've applied to a lot of schools, and
Yeah.
I'm still deciding, still going
Okay.
on visits, but some of my top schools,
Yeah.
Princeton, Cornell, Stevens Institute of Technology, Villanova, and NC State.
We heard
also
about
Rutgers.
those. We heard about those
Rutgers.
schools too
Yeah.
when we were growing up.
Would
We
you
heard about them.
Yes, we did.
I saw them in movies. That's great, though. Do you have a favorite, or you don't want to say?
I'm really still figuring
All
it out.
right.
I'm not sure yet.
All right, there you go. Be neutral on that, just in case they hear this. They won't be like, Stevens won't say, "Oh, she loves Princeton so much, she'd go to Princeton." But now let me ask you.
Let's do a couple fun questions with them.
Okay, first up, I want to know something first, though. What's your worst subject? Because you gotta have. I mean, you can't. You've got to have one. If you had to pick one during the course of your day, what's your worst subject?
I mean, I guess I have to say English. I love English and everything about it, but
Yeah.
it's not something like you could get hundreds on, you know?
Okay.
I mean, I think
What's your
especially
grade?
English,
What's your grade in English?
I think I do have 100.
How dare you?
I don't.
How dare you?
Well, somebody can't.
But
get
like
100.
English
Somebody.
objective English multiple choice questions just not my cup of tea.
Oh, Emily Osterman.
So-
She's fun.
So let me get. So her worst subject is English, which is only 100. Yeah. Oy, oy, oy.
All right, a couple fun questions
All right, here we
with
go.
Emily Osterman.
Okay.
Donovan Catholic, a senior.
Yep.
Our whiz kid.
Yes.
Chemistry girl.
Okay.
What's your favorite food?
Asian stir fry.
Okay,
All right.
delish. What's your
Exotic.
favorite color?
Blue.
And what's your favorite TV show?
Star Trek.
Hey! All right, very cool. Shout out to any teachers at Donovan Catholic.
I mean, Dr. Lacey's with me right here.
Okay, cool guy.
Yeah, Mrs. DeAndrea, who runs Decathlon.
Oh, cool.
yeah.
And how about any friends? Are they listening right now?
They might be.
Emily
I mean,
Osterman is here. Shout out to any friends?
Sure, I can shout out to Shawn Finnegan, Eliza Adenolfi, and Kat Heinowski, who are in my chem class. You're in the corner in the back, hanging out together. Caitlin Vickery was also back there
All
with us. Yeah.
right. Excellent.
A couple of things I want to wrap up with. Do we know what other countries the other two people that got 100% were from?
Doctor, do
We don't
know?
have any
I don't
idea.
know.
Did we ever hear where they were from in the world? Okay. All right. All right. We're researching that.
Okay. No biggie.
All right. Very good.
Doesn't matter. The only one that matters is
Yeah, I
Tom
was just
River,
kinda curious.
Emily Osterman
Exactly.
from Donovan Catholic.
Exactly.
Woo!
What's your favorite element if you had to pick one?
I mean, oxygen is pretty easy to remember stuff
Yeah,
about,
yeah.
so that would be a nice one.
Come on. Think out of the box a little bit here if you had to pick.
I think there's an element called ytterbium,
Oh.
which is a cool name.
I
so,
like ytterbium.
Yeah.
I like ytterbium. All right. Do we know what the element chart? What's the element for that? What's the signal for? What do you call it?
The ytterbium.
The letters. What do you call it? The
I
symbol.
think, I mean, it has Y's in it. I don't
Yeah,
know
Y,
what
okay.
else.
That's just why.
Yeah.
Just
I
why?
think it's just
It's
why.
just Y.
Ytterbium.
Ytterbium. Just a Y. Okay.
I don't know what it does, but it has a cool name.
All right. I like ytterbium. I'm
like it
gonna
too.
Google that.
Sure.
Why does hamburger yield lower energy than steak? Because it's in the ground state. I don't even know what ground state is, Sue, but it sounded funny.
Whatever. It's a ytterbium. Ytterbium. I like it.
But we're going to let you get to school.
Emily, what a great morning with you. Emily Osterman, Donovan Catholic. Congratulations again.
Thank you, and thank you so much for having me.
Absolutely,
very
we
good.
love you.
And do me a favor, just to mess with your teachers, throw one of your tests. Like, just get like a 98 on one. You know what I'm saying? Just so they wonder, like, ooh, wow, what happened? Or just to kind of keep them on their toes. All right?
Emily
She's not gonna do it.
Osterman, perfect score
She
on
is
the
perfect.
AP
There you go.
chemistry test.
Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
Also, we want to say
Thank
thanks
you.
to your teacher as well, Dr. Mike Lacey. Mike, have a great day at school
Thanks,
today.
Doc.
Sean, thank you very much. Sue,
And
thanks for having us.
Thanks for
got it.
producing perfection.
Somebody has to.
Yeah. Hey, we'll
You're
be
awesome,
back.
Emily.
We're going to find out all about the temperature in Fahrenheit with weather coming up next on WOBM.
92.7 WOBM and the Jay and Linda Brennan.
Thanks for listening to Shawn and Sue's podcast on 92.7 WOBM. For more details, go to WOBM.com.